Hi, I'm Kathy with Salisbury and Company, and I'm sitting here with local business owner Trent Corey, who is the founder of Find Yourself Running, and am really excited to interview him today and get to know him a little bit better and his business. Good morning, Trent.
Good morning, Kathy.
Thank you so much for joining.
Yeah, you bet.
So let's launch into these questions here. First off, what's your running background?
So I'm a physical therapist, but got into physical therapy because in high school I had running injuries. So I was really interested in finding ways to improve myself as a runner.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually became a state champion as a high school runner, and then went to college at the University of Iowa, where I was running very well at that level too. Ran under 30 minutes for a 10K, for example.
Gosh.
So that was pretty good. So ran really well, but I had my share of injuries in that time as well. I know that I probably could have gotten to the point of being an All-American if I would have been able to be really healthy, but I just continued to struggle with those kind of things. And then after college, things kind of settled down. I wasn't running my 70, 80 miles a week anymore.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah.
That's a lot of miles.
It's a lot of miles, but got to the point where I could still run marathons and that kind of stuff. And I'm very interested in still kind of doing that. And now since I'm a physical therapist, I really love teaching running and kind of doing my own type of running as well. Just getting into ChiRunning is what I've learned, and it's been really exciting to get that going. So using those principles has made me a better runner.
So you have this extensive running background and successful running background, and I would assume that led you to start Find Yourself Running. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah. So my thought was I had these insights of what I could do to help people become better runners and also just find themselves as a person, and really just understanding that a lot of this comes from within, that we have this soul purpose, and it's a meditative thing, and runners who really get it really know what they're talking. They understand why they go out and do this running. Some people from the outside, they don't understand, why do you go out and do this thing called running? And it's because it just becomes a deep meaning to them, a deep meaning to me, as just that invigorating feeling of getting out there and running. And I know when it's gone, right? I know when you get injured, it does not, it takes that soul out of you. It just makes you feel like you're not tapping into that deeper meaning that life can give you when you're out there running around in nature. So it prompted me to just really get out there and be more specific to people who are having those issues. So getting out there and just helping people figure out what they need to do with their form, things they need to do about that strengthening, but also the mindfulness of it, just the thought process that I have, that I've gained from doing this for 25 plus years of running. I've gained some insight of what it takes to be a successful runner. And I've come to this part of my life where I realize that's my important thing to give to people, is one of my purposes is to really help runners find that deeper insight and that soul purpose.
So you are also a physical therapist as well.
Yes.
So the mechanics of running you have down pat, just based on your history as well as your education. But it sounds like you're also bringing a deeper meaning to running as well. And that's through, you said, ChiRunning, correct?
Yeah. So ChiRunning is a style of running that talks about leaning from your ankles and kind of falling forward. So as you fall forward, the ground kind of comes underneath you. So you don't want to be landing with your foot, hitting the ground like this. You want to kind of have it like this. And so mechanically it's very sound, but it's a very mindful approach. It's teaching relaxation and alignment, which is kind of against most people's thought that they have to just get stronger and push and that kind of thing. So instead of pushing and levering, we're relaxing and aligning ourselves. And as long as we're lining up from our center, from our core, and you think about it, it's like your center force of your core values and the things you really believe in. It kind of has those parallels to that, which is phenomenal to me. And so ChiRunning kind of teaches that style of running and that mindfulness approach that gives us that sense of relaxation and alignment, and brings us injury prevention and more efficiency. So I'm excited to bring that to people, that gives them a different way of how they would approach running and get out of it what I do.
Okay. What type of runner would benefit from your knowledge and your workshops that you do?
Yeah, well, I can teach all certain levels, because the beginner level is, a really exciting level because you don't have as many bad habits to break.
Right.
However, if you're an experienced runner, I learned ChiRunning as an experienced runner. You heard that I've run pretty fast. I've run marathons. Fastest marathon is 2:37, which is like a 6-minute mile. So I learned this technique. It took me some time to get the form down before I could get my distance up and my speed up. So it kind of goes in that order.
Mm-hmm.
So the people who are at least at a higher level, they have to be more patient, actually. So, finding those ways to kind of slow themselves down and learn something new before they build up.
Okay. What's the biggest challenge you've faced as a runner?
So I've had issues with knee problems, I've had ankle problems, like Achilles tendonitis, I've had IT bands. So I've been through a whole bunch of, typical runner's injuries. And the IT band syndrome was pretty difficult. I went through that in college and had lots of things where I had to go in the pool and do nonstop training all the time. I remember spending almost more time than my teammates did when they went out for like a 10-mile run in college. I would be in the training room doing my exercises and doing my treatment and going to the pool and like all that stuff. And I'd do the pool in the morning. I would do all these different things to get stronger. And that was a really tough time for me, which I was just struggling to kind of be there in the training room while I knew my teammates were having practice and going to meets and, going to NCAA meet and all this stuff that was really exciting and fun for them. I was glad for them, but I was missing out on that. So that was one of the struggles of me that I had that was just like really tough for me to take, and it propelled me to work even harder on the things that I could work on, which is getting strong in my core, finding what I really believed in, and thinking about things with school as well, just kind of thinking about what I wanted to do with my life. And it got to the point where, I realized that running was going to be a part of my life for the rest of the time. So I think that time, though it was hard, became something that gave me enlightenment and things to work on.
Okay, I will wrap up our interview with one last question. What is the best advice you can give to a runner?
Go easy on yourself. Just enjoy life. Don't get too caught up with, I'm a running instructor. I teach things about different things with form, but really just find yourself. Running means falling forward gently and not fearing the future. Just kind of following your heart. When we teach the running form, you actually literally fall forward and your heart leads the way. And if you can remember that, a lot of this other stuff will fall to the wayside. So there's a lot of detail and a lot of things out there about what to do with form and all these things. And that makes it, that's valid and things to work on. And anything worth working on is important. But if you can follow where your heart really wants to go with it, then you'll go really far. And if you go easy on yourself, you follow your heart, you'll get what I get out of running.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me today, Trent. And if people are looking for more information on Find Yourself Running, how would they find you?
Yeah, my website is www.findyourselfrunning.com, and then I also have a Facebook page, so just look up Find Yourself Running, and I'm also doing YouTube videos, so you can also find me on on there as well. So just look up Find Yourself Running. I'm putting a lot of good content up to go over the aspects of the mechanics of running, and then also the mindfulness aspects that I find very valuable to go through life as a runner.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much,
You bet.
Trent, and look forward to seeing how far you go.
Oh, great. Thank you very much.